Today we need to get into Jung Kook being in crisis during his solo promotion. We also have to talk about Jung Kook, who was believed to be bullied at the camp for poor performance, and then we have Jung Kook and other BTS members removed from the military app. So Dumplings, is safe to decide, hate it or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumpling, taste spilling mug merch, and let's go. People were very shocked when it was believed that BTS members were removed from the military app. If you're unaware what this is, let me explain. The military app is the app that has all the photos of the BTS members from the service, so the photos that we see of them in uniform, doing military things. There is a professional photographer that goes around the camp and snaps photos of each of the soldiers there and posts it on the app so parents of the soldiers can see what their son is up to and sort of make sure that they're okay. After BTS was enlisted, there became such a huge influx of people on the app daily to catch up with whatever BTS is doing that the developers of the app have talked about possibly finding a way to generate money from the app so they can afford to create more features and make the app better. And this would be great. However, BTS was sort of removed. They're still on the app, but they were removed from a very special portion of the app, which is not great. Now, if you sign up, you'll be able to see the regular soldiers on one section and then a celebrity section. Currently, it seems it carries about 30 famous soldiers and some trainees, including members from groups like Winner, etc. Now, I believe BTS was initially on that list to make it easier for new users to track them, but also giving the other soldiers who are not famous some privacy. So when users are looking for BTS, they're not having to go through a bunch of non-famous people. But apparently, as of December 22nd, they were removed from that list, and it was odd and unexpected. However, the reasoning behind it came out, and it was believed it was because Big Hit owns the intellectual property of BTS and their faces. And since the app may eventually find a way to make money, or may already be making a bit of money, they cannot use BTS's face and make money. This makes sense because it's not like it's photos that is already public. The app is making money from fresh, newly taken photos that no one else has and is directly profiting off of whatever BTS does at the camp. However, I will say where it starts to make no sense for me is, why is BTS at the center of this? If this was indeed the reasoning behind why, then why aren't all celebrities not allowed? And why isn't it the entire celebrity section just removed? Because most K-pop idols who enlist are going to be people who are part of a company. The most basic K-pop contract is going to state things like owning a K-pop idol's face and their intellectual property. So I am just confused as to why they removed BTS from this as opposed to just removing every single celebrity that ever enlists. I think what the issue here has become is that BTS is bringing in way more viewers to the app than a lot of the other idols ever have done. So this makes it easy for the app to either sell things, put ads next to BTS's face, or just have BTS behind a paywall, and anyone who wants to see behind it will have to pay like $5 or whatever. It's very interesting to see how a celebrity's person is no longer their own, and they can no longer make their own decisions for even things like their own face. I think the reason being is because all of those things are paid for by the company. The company decides how the hair looks, things like piercings or anything that changes the face, to even things like makeup, style, and then of course wardrobe and the type of clothes they can wear. So when all those things are curated, it makes sense why a label would own that, as they quote-unquote bought all that. A stylist is one of the most important for a K-pop idol, because before the idol even debuts their talent, nowadays if they're good looking enough, they can start an Instagram page and go super viral. They don't really need to sing or dance yet. Jungkook is very much aware of this and has talked about his fashion. He went on to an interview with Jojo Wright to talk about his solo debut and his more relaxed look. Jungkook said that during the promotion he was in a bit of a crisis and actually didn't know what to do. Jungkook said that he doesn't really consider himself a really stylish person, which of course a lot of netizens don't agree with. However, this can definitely be true. We don't ever actually see him stylized without a stylist. And the looks we see that make us think that he is stylish are of course looks that are picked out for him. And maybe in a situation where he is doing a live stream for a more casual production and he is dressing himself, he might just pick a t-shirt, which of course he can't go wrong there. And this is a very important thing to note here, which is that not everyone is going to be good at everything. And if you're someone who knows your weaker points, it's easy to get a professional in and help with those weaker points. This is why a company is always stronger than an individual, and when they talk about things like resources, they're talking about having a lot of professionals on their team that can help move things faster. Things like outfits and styles are absolutely crucial for promotion times, as they really help sell the album. It sells the fantasy, and anyone who enjoys that specific look is going to feel connected to the album and style. It's not a direct science, nothing in marketing is, but it's supposed to help. I think it's very important that Jung Kook is aware of what his limitations are and is not shy from admitting them. It's better to hire someone to even do things like songwriting if that is not your strong suit than to do it yourself. It might be more admirable to do it yourself, but if success is what you're after, then the end result matters way more than how you got there. And entertainment is notoriously known for semi-cheating their way there, from movies using stunt doubles to even vocalists having voice doubles, and then of course ghostwriters to create huge hit songs. Of course, these are also things that celebrities and especially K-pop idols get a lot of backlash for. However, these things don't matter. If you're watching someone and you're extremely entertained, then it doesn't matter how they entertained you or if it was even completely fake. I would urge everyone to come to the realization that most things we see in media or on TV are going to be fake or staged to a certain extent. If you're someone who has gone to film school, you may even be aware of how staged things are, and that's okay. I never understood why people got upset about it. However, Jung Kook might not get too much backlash for an outfit, but he might get a lot of backlash due to what is happening with him in the military. If you are unaware of what is happening, Jung Kook will definitely be receiving very different treatment compared to the other BTS members that have enlisted. There are special rules for those who enlist that have tattoos, and specifically visible ones, because I don't think anyone cares if you have a tattoo on your butt or something. So the rule states that anyone with a tattoo cannot apply to be in any specialized units and cannot be an instructor or maybe even move up. This means that unlike Jin and J-Hope, Jung Kook won't get the opportunity to be what they are now. And of course, in K-pop, this means he will get ridiculed, because obviously anyone can apply, but those who get it must be people who are showing exemplary performance. And people are going to say that Jung Kook has a poor performance because he didn't get it, and it doesn't even matter if that sentence makes any sense given the context, because he could have an amazing performance, but he's still just barred from applying. However, it's still something haters would use because it's something that at least one person is going to believe, and that's enough for the hater. People think that due to this, Jung Kook is going to get bullied. However, this idea of applying to be an instructor is definitely up to you as the individual if you want to do that. If I was them, I would just be trying to get through the service, not worrying about moving up. However, I assume it's easier, like less physical work, and that's why Jin and J-Hope opted to do it. And then there are other people saying that Jung Kook can still apply if he wishes to do that, only be after the training process and when his actual military duties begin. So when he gets shipped off. Again, it's just such little things that the fans get upset over, and the things that the haters know. They know what upsets the fandom, and thus they know what to write to get the most impact. If these things stop bothering people, then the haters can say as much as they want, no impact. It also completely disregards if Jung Kook even wants to do that. Taking on a whole new responsibility and career path is stressful, and if it was me, I'm not trying to make history or do exceptionally well. I'm just trying to finish and go back to my life. People were scared that since Jung Kook could potentially be the only BTS member not an instructor, at least for a short period of time, that Jung Kook is going to get bullied at the camp. I want to say no one wants to be there. They all just want to go home and be done with it. Even if there's people forming cliques, that really makes no sense to do, as people will be deployed off to their official duties in just a few months, meaning those you train with are not going to be with you, and then you could serve your official duties with people who only have a week left of their enlistment. So there really isn't a chance to have cliques and bullying. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks, just love the comment right here. Love you, bye.